Hello. Today I wanted to talk about gaming experiences that you don't necessarily consider like your absolute favorites or the best games of all time, but that you find yourself returning to again and again because there's just something just so immediate and satisfying about them. And obviously, the game that I wanted to talk about today is DuckTales for the NES. Now, recently, I just randomly got an urge to play this game because I was thinking about because I've been into this arcade like one CC, one credit continue style of play for a couple of years now, and I was thinking about games that are not arcade games that could be played in this way, and I was like, hey, maybe I should play some NES stuff because those games are challenging but pretty short, and you can do this kind of one CC run and then record a replay and show it off. And I kind of settled on DuckTales because it's because even by NES standards, it's very short. This run that I did, I think is like 10 minutes, 3 or 4 seconds or something like that. And obviously, when you just start out playing this game, you're not going to finish it in 10 minutes. And when you first play this game, it's actually more of an exploration game because the levels are kind of pretty big, and they branch out, and there's like a ton of secrets and hidden stuff that you can find, and you're just kind of exploring. And then when you realize like how to get to the bosses or how to get to the key items, you kind of start beelining towards them. And then at least what happened to me is that I kind of accidentally started speedrunning the game, and then instead of an exploration game, it became this kind of almost like a precision platformer or something. And that change from an exploration-based game to kind of this speedrunning precision platforming is kind of a drastic one, but I think this game is really cool in how it supports both ways, and both experiences feel like really complete and full. Like condensing this game to just 10 minutes, it's still very, very satisfying. And I think a lot of it comes down to the feel of movement, because this game has a pretty interesting, of course you have the iconic pogo stick mechanic, and that's a big part of the game. But also I think the stage design is really well laid out in such a way that in most stages you can really kind of just keep on running towards the exit or the boss. And if you're good enough, you don't really need to slow down that much or take damage or any of these things. Now, obviously in this run I do slow down a little bit and I sometimes do take damage, though I try not to. Like, strictly speaking, this is not really a speed running. This is more kind of a speedrunning combined with me trying to play in this kind of clean way where I don't take that much damage and just play kind of nicely, you could say. And so kind of the movement feel and the way the stages are designed, it really kind of contributes to this feeling that you can just kind of, if you're good enough, you can just kind of breeze through the game. And that feels, again, super satisfying, and it gives you kind of this feeling of having a complete experience again, instead of just something that you just do really quickly. Because in each stage, even though this game isn't very difficult, even like going for this kind of speed run, you need to concentrate, and there are like these little details and little things and adjustments that you can do. And I've played this game for many years now, like returning to it now and again and just playing it for a couple of hours or something. And now returning to it, I think I played it for like 2 evenings for maybe like 3 hours or something. And even during that time, I found myself like doing things like figuring out, hey, maybe if I jump here, I can do this jump like a little earlier, or I can save a little time here, or I can avoid this enemy here if I play in a certain way, or there's a health pickup here, like a hidden health pickup that I can kind of take before going to the boss if I need it. So there are a lot of these like small details in this very short game that seems so simple on the outside, and of course it is pretty simple, but there is like hidden depth when you try to go for this kind of self-imposed challenge run in this. And I think also the way that all the levels are pretty different also contributes to this feeling of like, even if you just breeze through it, you still get that kind of variety and kind of, I don't know, it's not just the same thing over and over again, because each stage has its own things. Like I think the Amazon stage, the opening one, is my favorite because it's just so satisfying with like the enemies. Like there are these flying bees, and if you just do it just right, you can just kind of barely avoid it. And I think Capcom designed it that way. So if you know what you're doing, you can just kind of go past them in this kind of bullet hell way. Even though the hitboxes in this game are definitely not bullet hell, and it's one of the few gripes that I really have about the game. Like sometimes it feels to me like I should be able to avoid an enemy or an obstacle, but I can't but I think that's also because, you know, I've been mainly playing like bullet hell games for the past couple of years, and after playing bullet hell games, all the hitboxes in all the games seem too large. So yeah, there are like, I have some small gripes with the game, like the hitboxes, and also like the way that you have to return to Transylvania 3 times. It's just lame, and I think it's really just kind of them trying to pad out the length, I think. And they really didn't need to, but I can understand why they did it, like at the time. Like I think they knew that the game is, because, well, it's also for children, even though other people kind of play it as well and enjoy it as well. So yeah, I think they intentionally made it a little easy, and maybe they felt like, you know, the game is too short, so let's just like force the player to return to Transylvania like again and again. But you know, those aren't like huge deals, really. There's just so much good in this game that the like few shortcomings, they just kind of, I don't know, they don't really affect the experience that much, I think. And you know, like making this video, I don't really have like a huge point. I just wanted to share this 10-minute run of DuckTales that I did, which I felt pretty good about. And it's, I don't know, I just wanted to maybe kind of share the joy of playing something really short and not too complicated, but that still feels like a complete game, a complete experience, and something that you can keep on going like deeper into, like not necessarily like in one go. Like I'm not going to keep on playing this game after recording this run, but I can see myself returning to it in a couple of years and just again spending an evening or two just kind of blasting through it and making maybe small optimizations or time saves or something, just because it's so pick up and play, also so approachable, and just, I don't know, overall joyful. And since, you know, I've really gotten into this arcade style of play, I also keep on looking for games that are kind of short but condensed, where you can, you know, keep on practicing a single game or kind of mastering a single game, where it's not this kind of huge thing that you need to spend like months on, though that can be fun as well if you're going for like difficult bullet hell clears. But sometimes, you know, just having a game that ends up being 10 minutes long that you play for like, I don't know, 5 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours or something, whatever you spend on the game, and just kind of, yeah, that you can kind of just blast through and feel like you're maybe improving a little bit and just having fun. And that's something, well, I don't want to say that it's absent in modern gaming, but for obvious reasons, we have very different design sensibilities nowadays. We have like long campaigns, story modes, and I don't think people really want a game. I think it's seen as outdated, old-fashioned design, where you have a very short game that you need to learn inside and out to really beat it. Well, I guess roguelikes are kind of, they continue the tradition, but for me, I'm not really that into procedural generation. Like, it can be fun in some games, but it's just, I don't know, for some reason it's not really a thing that appeals to me. that much. I'd rather have this thing that is the same every time, but there's a kind of this depth that I can discover in this thing that is kind of the same every time, and over a longer period of time that I can kind of keep on mastering or learning more about. So I don't know if you have recommendations like modern games that are kind of support this type of play where it can be like this really short but condensed experience. Please feel free to share those in the comments. And otherwise, yeah, I think that's all that I wanted to say. Play DuckTales, play other short but sweet games, and as Scrooge says at the end, dream and friends. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye!